This is the 08 electric scooter, and in today's review, we're going to show you why this all-around performer is one of the smartest scooters for getting around your city. This is Chuck with Electric Scooter Guide, the leading source for electric scooter reviews. Please support our channel by sharing, subscribing, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. This comprehensive review will cover performance, portability including a trunk test, how to lock up the scooter, ride quality, build quality including a drop test, safety features, customer service, overall pros and cons, and who should buy this scooter and who needs something else. Let's dig in. When people ask me what is the best type of scooter for a city dweller, I look for these criteria. Can you pick it up easily? Is it small enough to fit into a small apartment without taking up your whole living room? Is it compact enough to fit under a train or subway seat? Are you at risk of getting flat tires all the time? Will it have good ride quality over some of the roughest roads in the city? Will it go fast enough to keep up with traffic and other bikes on the road? And will it have enough range for your commute, plus going out to lunch, running errands, and everything else you do in a typical day? And then of course, people ask for the least expensive but still high quality scooter that meet all of these criteria. As we deep dive into the 08, we will discuss why it is a smart choice for urban commuting. We will also be comparing this scooter with similarly priced options including the ultra portable U-Scooters Booster Sport, the ultra popular Segway 9bot Max, and just for fun, we'll throw in comparisons with 08's bigger and more expensive brother, the 09. But first, the basics. The 08 retails for $799, but we nearly always have a significant discount on it, so check the video description for details. It has a tested top speed of 23.1 miles per hour with a tested range of 22.3 miles. The scooter weighs 40 pounds and can hold a rider up to 220 pounds. When looking at price, all comparison scooters are pretty close, except the 09, which of course is more expensive. Overall performance on the 08 is well balanced. With a top speed of 23.1 miles per hour, you'll be able to keep up with most other riders. This is about the same top speed as the U-Scooters Booster Sport, but blows away the typical shared scooter such as the 9bot Max. But when you're commuting in a city, you will encounter more starts and stops than those living in suburbs or rural areas. That is why we also test every scooter in terms of acceleration, and the 08 excels here with a 4.9 second 0 to 15 mile per hour time, beating out the competitor scooters by a fair margin. For contrast, the 08 will be about 20% faster than a typical bird scooter and reaching 15 miles per hour about 22 feet earlier. The 08 hits 20 miles per hour in 8.4 seconds and then keeps climbing. The U-Scooters Booster Sport reached 20 miles per hour about 2 seconds slower, and the 9bot Max does not hit 20 miles per hour. Now, while some places are totally flat, cities will have ramps, driveways, and other hills to climb, and we need to make sure the 08 can handle them. We tested the 08 on our 10% grade 200-foot hill climb. From a dead stop, the 08 powered up the hill in 16.3 seconds with an average speed of 8.4 miles per hour. This is very close to the Segway Max time and outpaced the Sport. Now, top speed and acceleration don't mean much if they burn your battery too quickly and leave you stranded. Fortunately, Zero made a smart decision to put the same 624 watt-hour battery pack they use in the 09 into the 08, giving a very acceptable 22.3 miles of tested range. This actually beats out the 09 by a hair and nearly doubles the range on the Booster Sport. However, nothing at this price can touch the 28.1 miles of tested range on the 9bot Max. Finally, stopping distance on the 08 is provided by a rear drum brake as well as an adjustable electronic brake, both located on the rear wheel and activated through the left handbrake. Stopping distance from 15 miles per hour was 23.4 feet, which is about 5 feet longer than the 9bot Max and Booster Sport, Although if you are not using the fender brake on the Booster Sport, stopping distance on that scooter increases to about 40 feet. None of these can compare to the dual mechanical brakes on the 09, which has an incredible stopping distance of just 10.2 feet. While having good all-around performance is very nice, none of that matters if you can't take your scooter up and down the stairs on your commute. For me, 45 pounds is my limit for carrying a scooter one-handed and comfortably. The 08 comes in at 40 pounds, which I have no problem carrying. One factor that really helps when carrying a scooter is the circumference of the stem. The larger the stem, the harder it is for you to get your hand around it, and the harder it will be to carry. You can see that the stem on the 08 is actually smaller than on the 09, so while they weigh about the same, the 08 is much easier to carry. While weight is a huge concern for city commuters, so is folded size. If you want your scooter to really work in a city, you need to make sure that the dimensions work with your lifestyle and the places you go, including under a table at a restaurant, under your desk at work, under your seat on a subway, or in the trunk of an Uber in case it's raining too hard or you just don't want to ride home. You should even think about how much space it will take up in your apartment. The 08 is a smart choice for all of these use cases as it has a very compact folded size of just 39 inches long by 7 inches wide. This is only a few inches larger than the ultra-portable E2W scooters. The 9bot Max weighs only a couple of pounds more than the 08, but is quite a bit wider and longer when folded because the handlebars do not fold down. When you're commuting in the city and it's late at night or it starts raining and you need to take an Uber home, you need the scooter to be able to fit into the trunk of a car. This passes the ESG trunk test. For locking up the 08, I would recommend an extended U-lock such as the New York lock. I would lock it up right here, so right above the front tire. Yeah, this is the best place. When it comes to ride quality, much of it is determined by the quality of tires and the suspension. And at an MSRP of $800, the 08 is one of the least expensive scooters with dual suspension, which noticeably helps when going over rough terrain and is something sorely lacking on the 9bot Max. Now, we have a very interesting design choice with the tires. Normally, scooters either have air-filled tires or solid tires. Air-filled tires are better for ride quality but can get flats, while solid tires have worse ride quality but cannot get flats. But in the case of the 08, the front tire is air-filled while the rear tire is solid. So why did they do this? When you look into the data, and we did, we found that 94% of flats occur on the rear tire. So by installing a solid tire on just the rear, the 08 essentially eliminates the vast majority of flat tires while keeping as much of the ride quality benefits as possible. However, to be fair, you need to be a bit more careful in the rain, taking corners at speed, and while slamming on the brakes, as the solid rear tire will be more prone to sliding than a similarly sized air-filled tire. The deck on the 08 is ample, giving your feet room to find their most comfortable position. Deck size measures 18.3 inches long by about 7 inches wide. This is a bit larger than both the 9bot Max and the Booster Sport. When riding anywhere, but especially in the city, you'll encounter objects in the road. As we know, electric scooters do not have large tires, so we either need to go around those objects or pop the front wheel over them. A small but helpful nuance of the 08 is that the motor is situated in the rear wheel, which allows you to easily pop the front wheel up a few inches when an obstacle comes your way. The 08 settings are easily adjustable through the display. Here are some of the adjustments you can make. P8 is the power limiter for adjusting maximum power. This can be helpful if you are new to scooters to save battery or if a less experienced person is riding. P9 adjusts the scooter from kick to start to zero start. Kick to start will save you on range because the scooter is using your energy to get those first few miles per hour. If you change to zero start, make sure you don't accidentally hit the trigger and have the scooter lurch out in front of you. P11 is for adjusting the strength of the regenerative braking. The scooter should be set at level 3 by default, but if you want to increase the power of the brake, then you can take the scooter all the way up to level 5. P12 is initial acceleration level. This setting allows you to adjust the scooter for a high or low torque start. And finally, P17 allows you to turn on and off cruise control. By default, this should be set to off because cruise control can be dangerous if you don't understand how to use it properly. The Zero line of scooters have been around for quite a while now and are constantly being updated and improved. Overall build quality is strong. Stem has no wobble. All screws were tight when we received the scooter, and even the drum brake was adjusted perfectly. Handlebars are secured via large screws. This makes them more secure than the spring into place variety found on other scooters. However, it also lends itself to getting slightly loosened on rough terrain. The first time we unfolded the scooter, the stem lock was a bit tight, but after we managed to open it up and close it a few times, it now runs perfectly smooth. The 08 has a very hefty build quality, lots of strong metal parts, and it is a durable scooter. One thing to keep in mind is that the Zero is not going to be as refined as a scooter like the Ninebot Max. The Max is made on a larger scale and has more custom parts that give a better fit and finish. By contrast, the Zero is hand assembled on a smaller scale, resulting in less refined fit and finish. However, the Zero has heftier construction compared to the Max, and we expect that it has an edge in terms of durability.
This is the ESG drop test. Drop number 1, drop number 2, drop number 3. Whew. Let's see if we go. This scooter runs fine and passes the drop test.
We received our scooter from RevRides. They are somewhat legendary for their customer service, but what is also important to note is that they open every scooter and check it for defects, adjust the brake, and adjust the display, all before sending it off to you. There are only a few sellers that perform this type of inspection, and we applaud this level of service. Riding an electric scooter in the city brings potential safety hazards, mostly in the form of car doors opening into the bike lane, objects in the roadway, and people sneaking out from behind parked cars. When you need to stop suddenly, you'll use the left side handbrake that slows the scooter from 15 miles per hour to a dead stop in 23.4 feet, which takes just over 2 seconds. Keep this in mind when riding so you leave enough space in case you need to perform an emergency brake. For scooters that go over 20 miles per hour, we like to see an additional mechanical brake, but for that you'll need to upgrade to the 09. For comparison, the Ninebot Max also has one drum and regenerative brake, and the U-Scooter's Booster Sport does not have a drum or disc brake. When you need to ride in wet conditions, pneumatic or air-filled tires will stick to the road better, and the 08 includes this type of tire on the front, but not the rear. So in the rain, ride a bit slower, especially on turns. Also know that the drum brake is located on the rear wheel, which has a solid tire, will lose more traction when stopping in wet conditions. So just like when driving a car, when it is wet outside, slow down and be more careful. For night riding, the 08 includes 3 front and 2 rear lights. The front lights are mounted low, so we recommend picking up an additional front light for the handlebars, and you can find our favorite in the video description. The rear lights are bright and blink when you hit the brakes. This blinking happens even when the front lights are turned off and is a good safety feature. Of course, we always want you to be as safe as possible, so make sure to pick up a rear light to mount onto the back of your helmet so that you can be seen better from a distance. While the 08 has so many features making it perfect for the city, it does lack one necessary safety feature, and that is a horn or bell. This is something that you really need to have when riding around other people, but luckily there are plenty of aftermarket options available starting at just $15. The 08 is sold by different retailers depending on which country you're in. For the US, RevRides is the authorized distributor, and they are the ones who loaned us this scooter for the review. The 08 through RevRides comes with a 12-month warranty along with free shipping on all of their scooters. Additionally, they have US-based staff that handles customer inquiries by email and phone during regular business hours. In our anonymous email test, RevRides responded to our inquiry for service in just 4.3 hours. In our 2020 electric scooter survey, customers gave RevRides a perfect score of 5 out of 5 based on 16 customer responses. The industry average is 4.4 out of 5 overall, with 753 responses. There are plenty of places to purchase electric scooters, but with this being such a new industry with new products, it is very important to find a retailer that will help you out should something go wrong with your scooter down the line. And in my experience, RevRides is among the very best. Overall pros for the 08 include a well-balanced feature set, especially for urban riders, with great range and top speed while keeping overall size small enough to fit into your daily routines. It also has a very smart wheel configuration that keeps most of the performance benefits while reducing maintenance by 93%. Cons for the 08 include no audible warning device, handlebars that can get slightly loose over rough terrain, and we would like to see braking mechanisms on both wheels as opposed to redundant mechanisms on just one wheel. The 08 is perfect for city dwellers looking to get their first electric scooter. It is for someone new to the market that just wants a device they can use and not spend hours fixing. The 08 is not for someone heavier than the recommended 220 pounds. It is not for someone who wants to use this in off-road rural environments. Though the 08 can tolerate rain and some users take steps for increased waterproofing, it doesn't have an official water resistance rating, so you won't want to get it soaked. The 08 is the entry-level device in the famous Zero line of electric scooters. It is smartly designed so it fits into small apartments, under tables at work or restaurants, and is light enough to carry upstairs, allowing you to go nearly everywhere in a city. And while most portable scooters don't have good performance, the 08 gives you a fast top speed and over 22 miles of range. And it takes the vast majority of the headaches out of ownership due to the solid rear tire. If you are interested in purchasing, RevRides has offered a coupon code for our viewers that can be found in the video description. This is Chuck with Electric Scooter Guide, and I hope you have enjoyed this review of the 08. Please support our channel by sharing our content, subscribing, and giving this video a thumbs up. If you're interested in the next level up Zero scooter, check out our recent review of my personal favorite scooter, the 09. And if you're looking for a similarly priced scooter, check out our recent review of the ultra popular Segway 9BotMax.